Hey everybody, Daniel here with another Casual Dude review, and today we're going to be doing another request from a viewer. And so after my last video where we compared the Submariner to the Explorer, somebody had reached out in the comments and said they wanted to see a video of me comparing the Submariner to the Air King. Now, oddly enough, I already have an Air King and Explorer comparison video, and then I did the Explorer Submariner comparison video for another viewer. And then with this, I had the watches out. I said, let's go ahead and do it. So here we are. This is the current reference Submariner, no date. I'll explain why I went with the no date in a second. And then we have the new Air King reference on this, I believe, is 126900. I think that's right. I'm horrible with numbers, things like that. But anyway, here are two great pieces, both stainless steel, both similar in a lot of ways. But obviously there are a lot of differences as well. So let's start with the back. You could look at the clasp here. The clasp on the Submariner is a little bit longer. It does have a sliding glide lock, which is amazing because you can actually open it and close it, you know, if your arm swells in the summer or it shrinks in the winter. This gives you a lot of play to really like find that sweet spot of where it fits without having to remove or add links. Whereas this one just has a micro adjustment, so it will fold in a little bit on itself, and I think it's about half a link worth. So if you swell a lot or you contract a lot, you might have to add or remove links on this one. I haven't had any issues. It does get a little bit tighter in the summer. The thing with the oyster links is they're so big that sometimes, depending on your wrist size, it could be tough to find a sweet spot. But I haven't had any issues. My wrist size is 7 3/4 of an inch. And so, yeah, this has worked for me. Let's go ahead and put both of them on and talk about some of the details. First thing with the Submariner, obviously, it's a dive watch. So it's built a little bit heavier. It's got a bigger bezel, obviously a one-way directional bezel. And here's a close-up on it. There we go. Now, as I mentioned, I did go with the no date here because honestly, I have a lot of watches that do have the date complication, and when they wind down, they're just things I don't like setting because, you know, on a watch with no complications, it doesn't matter where on the 24-hour part of the day you are. If you want to set it for 8 a.m. or 8 p.m., easy to do. But if you have a date complication, you have to set it to the right half of the day, and then you obviously have to set the date as well. And plus, it's just not something I look at. Sometimes when I wear a watch that has a date complication and I know I'll only wear it for, you know, one night or a couple of days or something, I don't even bother setting the date. So I wanted something that was, you know, very minimal on the front. I love the face with the dial with no date, and decided to go with the no date here. Especially I have a GMT, which they look a little bit similar, but having less complications just means that I will probably wear it more. And so this has become a daily of mine. So again, current reference, no date Submariner here. Okay, we'll take both of these off and kind of do a side-by-side off the cushion here, but let's talk about the Air King for a little bit. Now, the Air King is obviously not a diver. It was influenced by the vehicle that was looking to break the land speed record. And so you see a lot of influences here from the Explorer. You have the 3, 6, and 9, obviously big numbers on the face here that are consistent with the Explorer. But what they did is they also have the increments of 5 printed on as numericals as well. Other than this, very similar to the Explorer. One thing I really like about the Air King, now I like to call it a quirky Explorer because, you know, it does look like an Explorer. You got the smooth bezel, polished, stainless steel, you know, same bracelet and everything like that. But aside from the numbers, one thing I really, really like about this piece is that, number one, the Rolex logo. Actually, let's see if we can bring that out a little bit. There we go. We'll move the hands so we can talk about the logo a little bit. All right, perfect. I'll go ahead and screw that back down. So again, not a dive watch, so you won't get the depth that you would with a Submariner, but you know, honestly, unless you're a diver, you're probably not going to those depths anyway. But one thing I absolutely love about the Air King, and this is what sold me on it, is that you have the classic Rolex logo with the yellow crown and the green text. And then you also have this like vintage mid-century Air King logo. So very cool typeface. We'll tighten it up a little bit there. And so that was like kind of the main selling point of this watch for me. Now I love the Air King so much that I did have the previous model. Some of the newer features include, the crown guards, things like that. The locking clasp, which is nice. This only has a small micro adjustment, so you're not going to get as much of an adjustment out of this as you would the Submariner. But let's go ahead and take out the Submariner again, and we'll put them side by side. Now, obviously, the bezel on the Submariner makes this look like a much bigger watch than it is. It does stand out a lot more. But all in all, I mean, they're relatively the same size. You do have more dial space on the Air King, which I think is nice. Both completely matte stainless steel finishes. So this is, brushed stainless, both with the clasps. And again, you're going to get a little bit more of an adjustment out of this one due to the glide lock. So from the side, they both have that very kind of flat profile, which is a difference on the new Air King here, where it had more of a rounded profile like the Milgauss. But very similar. The crowns look the same. It looks like the crown guards are a little bit thicker on the Submariner, just more of a beefier watch, more of a tankier watch. So, if I were to, these both dress down obviously really nice. Both black dials, very simple. I do absolutely love the pop of color here. And I think even though there's a lot going on in this dial, I think this might dress up a little bit nicer. I mean, you'll never go wrong with the Submariner, but the kind of sleekness of the Air King and just how low profile it is, I think makes for a nice dress watch as well. Obviously, you wouldn't wear it to a formal event or anything like that, but if you're going to a wedding, I think this would absolutely fly under the radar, and it would look nice under a cuff and everything. Both obviously could be worn super casually, but yeah, I know I'm not going to ask you which one you like better in this case, because I know most people are going to say the Submariner. The people who love the Air King really love the Air King, but it's always been a divisive piece in some of the videos when I compare it to the Explorer, or when I've done a comparison from the 126 to the 116 model. But yeah, this is not going to be one of those videos where I say, oh, let me know which one you like better, because I know we're going to overwhelmingly have people choose the Submariner. But yeah, again, this is a fan request, so I wanted to make sure that I do honor the people who are watching my videos. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos, and hopefully this will make him, give him a little bit of help when making a purchasing decision. Both great watches, a little bit of a redundancy if, you only have a handful of watches. You don't want too many similar watches that solve the same purpose. You might want to diversify with something that is more dressy for something you could wear casually. But these are two watches that I would absolutely daily, which means that I would wear it out. I would wear it to dinner. I would wear it, somewhere casual. If I'm taking my kid to the park or something like that, I would wear both of these in a heartbeat. So both great watches, both kind of fit the same, kind of use case in my life. But yeah, the Submariner obviously more of a classic. If you want something more toned down, I would take a look at the Air King. I mean, if you really like the way it looks and you like the quirkiness of it, that, some of the things that I like. I actually, as somebody who owns an Explorer, the new 40mm one, and an Air King, I actually like the Air King a little bit better. I think the Explorer is a wonderful watch, but it's one of those that a lot of people like and a lot of people have, and the Air King is a little bit more of kind of a head turner for people who are none the wiser when it comes to, what watches are, as far as like which watch is which. So Submariner is a classic. Obviously, it goes back to the James Bond era for me. That's why I ended up picking up this watch and ended up wearing it way more than I thought I would. But the Air King will always have a sweet spot in my heart. So I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think. If you have any requests for other videos, let me know. If I have the watch, take a look at some of my older videos. If you want a side-by-side comparison of some of these, I know that's always hard to do. If you're looking to make a purchasing decision and I can help you out, would love to do that. And as I mentioned in my previous video, if you're watching this video and you like the content and you're here leaving comments and kind of chatting with the community, please consider subscribing. I do this for fun. I just do this to share my hobby with all of you. But I notice a lot of people will watch a video, comment, really engage with it, and then according to the analytics on YouTube, they're not retained. And so if you are interested in more of this content, you're not just looking for a review on one particular watch and you want to see more content like this where I kind of put watches side by side or tell you about my thoughts on the current Rolex market or general watch market, or you want to see what my collection looks like, please hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to making more videos for you.